This requires a key. Storeroom. Locked. A store? Fernando's? Closed. We in the right place?
Try next door.
Anyone home? No one.
Papers in Miller's name. We're in the right place.
Keep looking. He's organized.
Disorganized traders lose money.
Vardy reads English extensively.
Well, nobody's perfect.
He's making protective amulets.
He's making useless trinkets.
And he works hard to keep her away.
Maybe she tried to harm him. Let's search the store.
What is this?
A sansa. It's a musical instrument. It's Bantu, from southern Africa.
Stock to trade. He hasn't unpacked it.
Maybe he intends to move on. And who could blame him? Surprisingly high-quality wares.
Can't be many left in New Eden with the means to buy. He's doing surprisingly well for himself.
Where did he get the inventory?
Rebecca's will. She was rich. She left him the lot.
That's where he got the inventory.
Aye. The list matches his sales record.
Touch my money and I'll drop you. What are you doing here? Thieving, no doubt.
I'm no thief, Mr. Miller. I'm the Banisher. I brought Helen Priest back to the fort.
A banisher. Thieves lie. How do you know my name?
'Tis my business to know. Red McCraith.
If you are a banisher of ghosts, I have business for you. I'll pay.
Aye. I know about Rebecca. It was she who sent me to find you. She worries for you. Says she loves you.
The English have a word for that. Hogshite.
If not for love, why did she bequeath you her fortune?
Whichever. It matters not. You're a banisher. It is your job to get rid of her. Can you not just do your work?
Easy, Mr. Miller. Now, I'll need to examine Rebecca's belongings.
I sold them. All of them.
You did? To who?
I don't know. People. I wrote it down. In the register. Read it if you wish.
2 recent sales to the blacksmith and to Ingersoll's store.
You've put quite the effort into protecting your home, haven't you?
You poked about my house without my say-so.
I know my business. So out of generosity, here's the truth. None of it works. Not the wreath, not the amulet, none of it works. Pretty though.
His brooch is working.
It works. She hasn't come back. I can sleep now. I hear her calling, whispering my name. I wait to find her at my bedside. Our eyes meet. She stares. She won't leave me alone. She's an Akishi, a demon. Banish her. I'll pay you.
I need a job. I accept. A storekeeper hears much. What do you hear, Mr. Miller?
I'm a busy man. If you've a question to ask, then ask it.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He has no problem with me. I have no problem with him. He respected Rebecca's wishes. He gave me what was mine. My freedom. Her estate. He saw me as a man and signed the papers to say so. And when them who saw different complained, he laid down the law.
What think you of Helen Priest?
I don't think of Helen Priest. I stay out of her way. I hope she'll stay out of mine.
How are things in the fort, by your estimation?
Look around you. Things are desperate. Have you heard the sound of their bodies crashing against the wood? I am a man of courage. I have endured much. But this, it undoes me. I don't know what you people have done to this country, but there's little hope and no way out.
Your stuff looks good. Let's trade.
Now, my friend, we are conversing.
Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
You know where to find me. If you're buying, I'm selling.
Ingersoll's store and the blacksmith. Noted.
He'd sold it all. Everything she'd owned. And fast.
Is he wiping the slate clean and moving on?
If we track her things down, perhaps they'll tell us.
Ferdinando was a slave. She was his owner.
A better deal for her than for him.
He wants to forget it all and start a new life.
But she came back.
Greetings. Welcome to Ingersoll's General Store. I'm Bathsheba Ingersoll, the owner. What can I get you? A comb, perhaps?
A comb. Very funny. Red McCraith, and pleased to meet you.
Oh, please get the comb.
Ferdinando Miller sold you a few things recently, right? May I have a look?
You may, yes. Though I doubt they'd be much use to you. Unless you've got a knack for art. Mr. Miller mostly sold me paintings. You can't miss them, they're the only ones I have.
Tell me about your store. Tell me about you.
The original Ingersoll's in Boston was grand and fine, but it burned in the North Square fire of '91. We moved to New Eden with Nathaniel. But before Natty could return home, my husband died. Then came the curse. And now here we are. Welcome to Ingersoll's of Fort Jericho.
You never wanted to do anything else?
My husband was prosperous and affluent. I was young and clever. We made an excellent match. He taught me everything I know. The store is my business. My legacy. My story. It is who I am. I don't like running a store. I love it.
The shopkeeper must hear everything that goes on. Tell me something interesting. Just between us.
You assume me to be a gossip monger?
What do you wish to know?
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He lets me trade. I like the man. He says Ingersoll's store is good for the fort. I very much agree.
What can you tell me about Helen Priest?
I like her, though she's impetuous. Terse, even. She fancies herself a leader, when she should know her place, and that place is below the captain. Thinking about it, no, I don't think I do like her.
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
Well, it's cold. Folk are hungry more often than not. I've little to tell you won't hear from someone else. But Ingersoll's is open, so all is well with me.
Shall we trade?
I rather think we should, sir. What interests you?
I must take my leave.
And may God go with you.
Pretty. The work, I mean.
Not our ghost eye, though. Let's try the forge.
Good day, sir. Nathaniel Sather at your service. What can I do for you?
That Mr. Sather remains to be seen. Red McCraith, by the way. The Banisher. You seem a chatty fella.
We see precious few new faces around here. You'll forgive me if I use you for fresh conversation.
Tell me about yourself. Share your business. Tell me what's important to you.
I'm from Boston. I love it very much. So much more lively. A fine mix of conviviality and anonymity. I miss that life. The music. The colour and the splendour. The dance of commerce. The flower sellers' forget-me-nots. Oh, the forget-me-nots. I very much wish to go home.
What are you doing here then?
I'm the shop boy. When the store moves, I move with it. Old man Ingersoll opened up a general store in Boston back in '78. Then he married Bathsheba. I came with them to New Eden intending to quickly return, but Mr. Ingersoll died. I extended my stay. They took me on when I was just a boy. I've no family. All I have is my Thomas, my closest friend.
You have, as my granny would say, the power to talk the back legs off a two-footed donkey. But I bet you listen too. What do you hear hereabouts?
Oh, little of interest. Pennington has signed John Rumble to the train band, which means nothing at all to me. I believe John was down the flooded mine. That can't have been fun. Maybe the militia will be good for him.
Huh? You never know who'll take to soldiering.
You say that, and I defer to your experience, but I'm sure it's not for me.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
The captain. I've not a single bad word to say about that dismally antiquated, superannuated old man. His depth of experience is inspiring, although I shudder to think what those experiences have done to him. But we should respect our elders. We should listen to their point of view, and then ignore it as we look to the future.
What do you think of Helen Priest then?
I'd put her in charge if I could. She's bright, trustworthy, thinks for herself. She's not married to old doctrine. People here are desperate. They're sick, they need courage. And Helen Priest fears nothing.
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
It's cold. Our clothes are inelegant, the walls are drab. There's no music, no conviviality. There's no gaiety. Boston isn't much of a city, but I miss it. I wonder what I could make of this place were I allowed.
You can paint a turnip red, but it still won't be an apple.
True, but stack enough red-painted turnips about the place, and even the dour Scotsman shall surely crack a smile.
I must go. Thank you for your time.
Take care, and mention it not.
Nope.
Shepherd. Militiaman. Let's try the barrack room. An echo, the quill resonates. An echo, perhaps.
I only recognize my name in the list.
Distant family, but I can't disinherit them.
I would never ask you that. To have met you is already more than I ever expected. If I was to lose you, God forbids, I'd cherish all that reminds me of you.
If you were to lose me, all that I own would now be yours.
He claimed not to love her. Why lie?
Maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he pretended to love her.
Let's see what he has to say about it. Captain Pennington.
No time, no way out. No hope, no way in. No time at all.
Captain Pennington, sir.
Mr. McWraith, you live.
There's work to be done.
Work? You had work. A mission. To bring one last glimmer of hope. To gladden our hearts before the pit takes us all.
You secretive bastards haven't helped.
The job is done. There's no more hope and little enough time. All that remains is the pit. Welcome to the last stand, McWraith. Welcome to the end.
I wouldn't surrender just yet, Captain. I found Helen Priest. We brought supplies.
A waste of effort on both accounts.
Hardly. We saved a life. Resupplied, you may save more.
For the sake of what? For the sake of days, a week perhaps? You've saved no one. You've prolonged the terror. The dead will come. Our throats will feel their bony fingers soon enough. The end is inevitable.
The people man the ramparts, ready to fight.
You sound like Priest. She has changed. Her return to Fort Jericho has made her impulsive, irrational, quarrelsome. I believe she did not fully grieve her husband's loss. Returning to the scene has, it seems, reopened the wound. It festers. She'll join the lieutenant soon enough. When our defences crumble at the last, the pit shall take us all.
How do things stand, Captain, as you see them?
Little has changed. The dead flood from the mines. We shoot them down and gain respite. Soon, the onslaught begins anew. The clock of our extinction ticks on towards the hour. We may no more defeat the dead than we may vanquish the ocean waves.
Folk have little enough hope, and you're leading them further into the darkness.
I've heard the whispers, the murmurs, the plotting from the shadows. We hold to the last. We resist, till retribution rises from the pit and drags us all to hell.
Well, that's something worth waiting for.
I fail to see the appeal of this slow agony.
How unfortunate. Because thanks to you and the time you bought us, the agony will be all the slower.
Fair to say your tactical retreat from New Eden Town has not served you.
The town was doomed to fall to the curse. We disagreed on everything. There was nothing left to do but leave. We did not know there'd be no escape. No Smith gathered the board and the governor let the affair flock to him. We never agreed on anything in the first place.
I crossed paths with the new Smith party. Thick-Skin did not make it.
Shame. She had a proper head on her shoulders. Without her, the band will suffer.
As the commanding officer, you must know all the local lumps and bumps.
The lumps and bumps can smooth themselves. I have other priorities.
Why did you come to New Eden, Captain? Why here?
Far from the many wars we fight, you mean? I'd shot enough Frenchmen and more than enough Indians.
Did no one come with you?
Keep to your business, son, not mine.
It's just, there's a portrait hanging on the wall. A family.
I had a wife and daughter once. I'll not entertain you with their story.
Tell me more about yourself and your career.
I did my duty and had the fortune to return alive. That's all. We who are intimate with war tell no tales.
I thought that too. I was wrong. Silence allowed my ghosts to prosper. 'Tis good to tell our stories.
If ever I do tell, I'll not be telling you, son.
Permission to take my leave, Captain.
And if I refuse it?
Are you trying to recruit me, Captain? Do you really think I'd take the King's shilling?
If I were to offer enough shillings, I'm sure of it. I need no new lieutenants. But if you wish, you may stay. This key unlocks the unused watchtower. You'll bill it while you're here.
On the one hand, a captain beaten by the world. On the other, his rival, haunted and mutinous.
In a fort besieged by vengeful specters.
I know the shit, there's something else. Something darker.